According to the authorities here, due to the poor nature of the classroom block, students are asked to go home anytime it is about to rain. This classroom block was constructed by the school's Parent-Teacher Association, PTA. This has been a major concern for residents, students, and authorities of the school, as it affects academic work negatively. While the school lacks a decent classroom block, a Get Fund classroom project for the school has been abandoned for over a decade. During Citi News' visit to the school, weed had grown around the area as the structure had also developed cracks. The headmaster of the school, Patrick Berfi, highlighted some challenges confronting the school. He wants government to resume work on the abandoned project.
When it rains, it forces to close as early, and at times if you don't come to school at all because of the muddy area of the school. Then secondly, because of the classrooms are not tied, termites always destroy our textbooks and then tables and chairs. So it forces us to normally repair the tables and chairs at the expense of the parents, in which it is not happening, so that not necessarily we collect money from the parents, but it forces us to collect money from them to repair our tables and chairs. And normally, Reverend Father also helps us acquiring some of the teaching learning materials, tables, chairs, as well as textbooks. So we have a lot of challenges. I want the authority to come to our aid, especially to the completion of the old block or the abandoned structure, so that the teachers and the learners will have a pleasant time to learn.
The local manager of the school, Reverend Father Bismarck Shremapia, also wants government to ensure the project is given the needed attention.
In our school, we are facing a lot of challenges. One of the basic challenges is infrastructure. In terms of classrooms, we don't have any classroom. And we have a structure there which has been abandoned for almost 10 to 11 years. A project started by Get Fund around 2009, 2010. As at now, it is in the bush. And now the students are facing challenges. And we are pleading with the authorities to come and assist us so that our students will also have opportunity to sit in a good classrooms so that they can also study and study well. These pavilions they were put up by the PTA and the help of some community members, even though the roofing sheets were given by the DCE as his support to the school. We have been going on to discuss with him how best he can help us, but as political thoughts, he said they will come. As at now, I've been here almost 3 years and nothing has been done.
Assembly member for the Sabronum electoral area, Amu Abuaje Francis, who is a former student of the school, tells Citi News that District Assembly has made attempts to get a contractor back to site, but has been unsuccessful. He wants government to be more serious about completing the structure.
So if you look at how our school has been, the structure, how deprived it is, we are appealing to government to come to our aid, because there have been a lot of complaints from the parents. A lot of people are complaining because if you look at the structure where the kids are schooling, is very bad. So we are just appealing to government to come to our aid, to come and continue the building over there, because we have presented before the assembly and DC told us that they have called on the contractor, but it seems there's no enforcement, so things has been redundant. So we are just calling on government to come to our aid and come and help us.
When Citi News engaged the Afuano Southeast District Education Directorate, the officials corroborated the claim that attempts to get a contractor to resume work on the abandoned project have proven futile. Access to water, inadequate teaching and learning materials, and the absence of a toilet facility are some of the other challenges the school struggles with. While the students attend Nature School in the bush, an almost completed toilet facility funded by government has been left in the bush awaiting commissioning. As students struggle to study in this dilapidated structure, there's a building right behind me, which is construction work started over a decade ago, but it has been left abandoned. The management of this school, as well as the residents within this area, are calling on government to ensure it is completed as early as possible. From Sabronum in the Hafuano Southeast District of the Ashanti region, I am Edward Oponmalfo for Citi News.
Kwaemu Denyami is a small farming community with most of the inhabitants being settler farmers and laborers who work on cocoa farms here. Children of laborers who are caretakers of cocoa farms here walk for long distances to access education in neighboring Obinimase. A reverend minister with the Christ Victory Congregation under the Presbyterian Church of Ghana narrates how he improvised to set up a school in this abandoned poultry farm.
After deliberations, we saw the need to start the school. I was told that there's one abandoned poultry farm, of which if we can look at it and see the owner can give it to us to establish the school. The owner, the owner stayed at Dansa. I went there with the elders of this community, pleading for the release of the abandoned poultry farm to start the school. He gave it to us perfectly without paying anything. So we started the school with 8 pupils.
After the school was set up in 2016 with about 8 pupils, the population increased to 46 in 2017. The school had 2 teachers who taught the pupils on a voluntary basis.
Being teaching at the abandoned poultry farm, that place, there was a lot of challenges that we were going through, and then that one too, I was not feeling all that well because look at the children over there. They will come, the place was not plastered, they will lie on the floor, they will dirty themselves and a lot of things. So things were not going on well, and then the teachers too were not all enough for us to teach the children. So it was a lot of problems that we were facing there.
With a growing population, there was an intervention by the principal of the Jackson College of Education after a visit to the community to see the pupils study in a dilapidated and abandoned poultry farm. A fully furnished classroom block with other ancillary facilities has now been handed over to the community.
I came here and I realized that all the children were in one room and the children were seated at various opposite directions with one teacher. So I realized we cannot have effective education this way. Therefore, they must be assisted. Looking at the community, I knew there was no way they could help. Even now, the abandoned poultry farm is more or less collapsed. They are moving out of that building today to this new building. So you could imagine the state of these children.
Stakeholders believe the intervention will improve the education in the rural community and give children from less endowed backgrounds the opportunities to compete with their colleagues in the cities.
When the children are at that formative years, 4 years, 5 years, they are not able to run to school and come back. And that's why we identify this community. We've identified 3 such communities, one at Petrensa Kwayim, this one, and then there's another one behind Odumase, which is Anhiriso. And we are trying to give access to all the children who have settled with their parents within the villages. It shouldn't, at least this one is a 7 classroom block. The ones that have, through the government, we have built at Petrensa and Anhiriso is a 3 classroom block.
The intervention has come as a relief for chiefs and people in the area.